If you like Marlon Brando, you should definitely watch our picks for his best movies.
Nobody believes in us. God here.
We hope you will enjoy the following ranking. Please let us know your favorite in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to never miss a good movie again.
Number 10. Last Tango in Paris, 1972.
Even if a husband lives 200 fucking years, he's never gonna be able to discover his wife's real nature.
Last Tango in Paris is a 1972 erotic drama film, directed by Bernardo Bertolucci and stars Marlon Brando, Maria Schneider, and Jean-Pierre Laud. While passionate and full of intensity, The Last Tango in Paris not only explores the trope of physicality and sex, but also the emotional side of life, like love and everlasting pain. When Paul, whose wife just committed suicide, starts all over again in Paris, he meets a beautiful woman. This is the beginning of a relationship with all ups and downs.
He's crazy.
Maybe I am, but I don't want to know anything about you. I don't want to know where you live or where you come from. I want to know nothing. You understand?
You scared me.
Nothing.
Number 9. The Score, 2001.
Operator, I got a nut down here that says just at $6 million. No, it's not paramedics. I think. You all right?
The Score is a 2001 crime film directed by Frank Oz and stars Robert De Niro, Edward Norton, Angela Bassett, and Marlon Brando in his final film role. Empowered by a truly breathtaking cast, The Score finds itself in the middle of the thrilling crime genre. Rolling up the known tropes while adding new exciting aspects to it, the movie follows a burned-out and aging master thief who wants to retire. But when pushed into one last job, he must now overcome the trickiest job yet.
I live the way I want, because after this, no more jobs. This is the last one I'm doing. I'm quitting for good.
How many times you told me that in 25 years? I mean, I'm going to believe that when the pigs eat my brother, right?
I'm done. I'm done, no more.
Number 8. Guys and Dolls, 1955.
This is not a charity contribution I'm making. This is a business transaction. Something you want for something I want.
And what is that?
Guys and Dolls is a 1955 musical film directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz and stars Marlon Brando, Gene Simmons, Frank Sinatra, and Vivian Blaine. Just like with any other love affair, there comes the moment of falling deeply for a person, but also the moment where you must question the feelings you have. This is exactly the case for Sky Masterson, who finds himself falling for a beauty in Havana. But will she ever return the love when she finds out his secret?
Would you be open to a proposition?
I've had those, no.
Don't flatter yourself. I'm talking business. I am in a position to supply you with the raw material you need for your work, namely sinners.
How?
That's my work. Now, when is this big midnight meeting of yours?
Number 7. Julius Caesar, 1953.
The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault.
Julius Caesar is a 1953 epic historical drama film directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz and stars Marlon Brando, James Mason, John Gielgud, and Louis Calhern. This memorable adaptation of the classic Shakespeare play sees itself in the middle of Rome, where the successful conquests of Julius Caesar have enabled him to rise above the state and become a mighty dictator. But at the height of his power, some other politicians begin to question his worth, which will lead to a deadly conspiracy.
It is not meet, you know, how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you, it will make you mad. It is good, you know not, that you are his heirs.
Number 6. Mutiny on the Bounty, 1962.
Williams has been drinking seawater, sir. I was giving him some fresh water. I'm afraid he'll die without it.
Mutiny on the Bounty is a 1962 epic historical drama film directed by Louis Milestone and starring Marlon Brando, Trevor Howard, and Richard Harris. In this colorful and fresh reinterpretation of the 1935 classic, we get an even better inside look into the story of boat HMS Bounty. Led by a cold-hearted and truly sadistic captain, the crew must suffer through more and more cruel catastrophes. This eventually leads them to do something against the bloody hand they find themselves under.
You have witnessed Mr. Christian's act of violence toward a superior officer. He will be placed in confinement until a court-martial can be convened. In Jamaica, I expect. And will your fashionable friends be there to see your execution, I wonder?
Number 5. Superman, 1978.
You will make my strength your own. See my life through your eyes, as your life will be seen through mine.
Superman is a 1978 superhero film directed by Richard Donner and stars Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, Christopher Reeve, and Margot Kidder. It is hard to imagine a time before the age of MCU superheroes, but it basically all began back in the 70s with the Superman interpretation. It features everything you could wish for from a classic Clark Kent story. Love affairs with Lois Lane, finding the responsibility to wear the cape, memorable action scenes, and an all-time classic soundtrack.
God, look up there.
What the hell's that?
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me. Who's got you?
Number 4. A Streetcar Named Desire, 1951.
You must be Stanley. I'm Blanche.
Oh, you're still sister.
Yes.
A Streetcar Named Desire is a 1951 drama film directed by Elia Kazan and stars Vivien Leigh, Marlon Brando, Kim Hunter, and Carl Malden. This very uncensored abstract classic follows the disturbed Blanche Dubois, who has freshly moved to New Orleans with her sister to start all over again. But when tormented by her brutish brother-in-law, she begins to lose touch with reality and must witness how life around her begins to crumble, which is what made this flick an Oscar-winning classic.
Traveling wears me out.
Well, take it easy.
What's that?
It's not those cats.
Number 3. On the Waterfront, 1954.
There's more to this than I thought, Charlie. I'm telling you, there's a lot more.
On the Waterfront is a 1954 crime drama film directed by Elia Kazan and stars Marlon Brando, Carl Malden, Lee J. Cobb, and Rod Steiger. Shockingly inspired by true stories, On the Waterfront is the unforgettable crime drama showing an unstoppable war between the police and a big fish mob boss. It doesn't look good for the police when all the witnesses play dumb and deaf, leaving the murderers unpunished. Time for vengeance and someone who is willing to speak up against the injustice.
You should have taken care of me just a little bit so I wouldn't have to take them dives for the short end money.
Well, I had some bets down for you. You saw some money.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum.
Number 2. Apocalypse Now, 1979.
You're neither. You're an errand boy, sent by grocery clerks.
Apocalypse Now is a 1979 epic war film directed by Francis Ford Coppola and stars Marlon Brando, Robert Duvall, Martin Sheen, Lawrence Fishburne, and Harrison Ford. The war movie that formed war movies, iconic, honest, breathtaking, and thrilling, while giving you an idea of how the Vietnam War destroyed human minds. It is a haunting ride into primal madness, following Captain Willard, who is ordered to find Colonel Kurtz, rumored to have set himself up in the middle of the jungle as a lethal godhead.
Could we, talk to Colonel Kurtz?
Hey, man, you don't talk to the Colonel, well, you listen to him. The man's enlarged my mind,
Before we unveil movie number 1, here are a few honorable mentions.
Now up in here right quick. I count 8. I ain't got them keys. I'm gonna take you off at the neck. 1.
You ain't about to take my neck off with that little old popper.
That's 2.
They plowed the land and they've got it half sowed. And they haven't got time. Your brother can't...
My brother is a general. And he became a general, fighting for many years and killing many of your enemies. And don't you forget it.
I never remove my mask in public. Do you understand the consequences of this?
Not fully, but,
Well, Well, think how you would feel if you were made to take off this mask that you are wearing.
Oh. Well, our masks really get us in Dutch, don't they?
Number 1. The Godfather, 1972.
If you'd come to me in friendship, then the scum that ruined your daughter would be suffering this very day.
The Godfather is a 1972 crime film directed by Francis Ford Coppola and stars Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, James Caan, Richard Castellano, and Robert Duvall. The story chronicles the family under the patriarch Vito Corleone, focusing on the transformation of the son, Michael Corleone, raised to have a life outside of crime, from reluctant family outsider to ruthless mafia boss. Discover the story of one of the biggest crime dynasties in cinema history, which received 3 Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Actor for Marlon Brando.
I hope that we could come here and reason together. And as a reasonable man, I'm willing to do whatever's necessary to find a peaceful solution to these problems.
Do you agree with our list? Please let us know in the comments. If you want to know more about a particular movie in this list, you can check out our links in the video description. And for more top 10 movie videos, be sure to subscribe to communiTV.